Hey guys, we are at CEDIA 2024 here in the Paradigm Anthem booth with Kyle De Niro. Kyle, appreciate you having us, man.
Good to see you, Michael. Yeah.
We just had an awesome demo
we did.
here. 2 demos. You got 2 full systems in here. I'd love to take my audience through what you've got here at the show, and then I'll share some of my experiences with this demo.
Yeah, so the whole idea this year was to show what Paradigm can do for you in a box on your floor, in this case, with the Founder 100Fs and the beautiful Azure Ice finish for the 41st Anniversary Edition finishes, the 90C, and because we want to show someone what you can do when you place that speaker in virtually all the positions.
Yeah.
So in this case, because we have a television, we did use this beautiful salamander stand, and we have the 90C center channel on top. But all the other positions on your base layer are Founder 100Fs.
Oh, yeah.
So it gives you that thrilling experience when you feel the immersiveness of the surround sound. To complement that system, we've got 4 XR13s in the beautiful frozen charcoal finish, and they're just giving you that heart-pounding, visceral bass response that we heard during the demos.
Oh, yeah.
And I know you're like me, you can't stop there.
Yep.
So you got to get bigger, you got to get more immersive. So we did height channels. And in this room, we did 4 height channels. We did a top front and a top middle pair, so we could really drop you into the movie.
Sure.
And it makes you feel like you're in the car for our last scene that we played.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, which of course I'm near and dear towards because I love to race in the simulator, and he actually made his way into a race car after he finished that academy. So we're trying to show off what Paradigm can do not only in box speakers, and then the second system that you referenced is our P1 LCR system. So we have the Pro Series LCRs, and that gives you the benefits of the Founder Series technology because we're using the Carbon X material for the mid-bass drivers that we use on the bass drivers for the 100F.
Yeah.
We're utilizing the tweeter technology from the Founder Series, so you can get Founder Series level performance. Now here we use them on wall, but traditionally in a customer's house, they would go in wall.
Right.
And same idea, we wanted to use the same exact speaker for all of the main positions in the base layer. Now in this case we didn't do heights because we have the height system with the big system with the AVM90 and the MCA amps powering it. This one we wanted to use the MRX 1140 to show off not only a great 5-channel solution, but you noticed in the room as you looked around that it's not just 4 XR13s this year. We talked about it last year, adding high performance bass response in a wall.
Yeah.
And of course in the demo room, we had to make and kind of fabricate what would be your typical stud bay in your house for our new SFC12SW, Seismic Force Canceling 12 subwoofer.
Yeah.
And what's incredible here is we got 4 of them. So gives us the ability with the 1140 to have independent phase alignment, distance, and arc genesis on the front pair and on the rear pair, so we can really dial them in.
Right. Now, Kyle, is that what this is on the ground?
That's
Can
exactly
we
what we
show
got.
and tell?
Oh, man. Oh.
All right, I want to hold it.
There we go.
All right, so that's beefy, that's stout.
That is a beefy subwoofer. Really cool technology. So force canceling design.
Okay.
Michael, you can see the racetrack style drivers, which that ties right into our demo theme for this year.
There you go.
And it's 15 inches by 3.5 inches. Over the previous model, the RVC 12SQ that we offered for a number of years, this has 30% more surface area coverage to create deeper, more powerful, tighter bass response.
Right.
And we're now using traditional dog ears, so when you mount this into the wall, it's a very easy installation if you are doing it in a retrofit application.
Okay.
So if you already have drywall up, you just get that directly into the drywall after you cut out the hole, and you've got high performance bass with less floor space. So we love the new SFC12SW, and we wanted to highlight why it's so important to give yourself better bass response.
Yeah.
Because like you know, it's not just adding to the explosions, adding to the deep, powerful bass during the soundtrack, but also better high frequency, better clarity, better detail, overall better system dynamics.
Yeah, we were able to listen to music, movies, just super clean. Now, these aren't the performance of these, but that's the trade-off. Being able to put that in the wall, make it seamless, never see that they're there, wife's happy, you kind of hide them behind a...
And I like to mix and match. You know, whenever there is a case to have box subwoofers in the front of the room, when you have box tower speakers or bookshelves, so you're looking for the aesthetics to match like we do here, but then maybe in the rear of your room, your couch is closer to the back wall. In my house in Florida, just like you, limited space, so I could actually probably put 2 more SSC 12SWs in the wall, and complement the XR13s that I have up front. And you
Nice.
get that thrilling bass experience that we're all looking for in our theater or in our living room systems.
Sure. Now, a lot of times
Yeah.
I recommend to my audience that we run multiple subwoofers. Here,
Yep.
you've got 4 subwoofers. Why would somebody want, I mean, if these produce enough bass, why
Sure.
would you put 2 more in the back?
Because you want even coverage, right? So it's not always about playing louder bass.
Correct.
In some cases it is, and we want a bigger, more powerful subwoofer with a powerful amplifier, so that way we get thrilling bass performance. But one really nice thing about this big room is we have 12 to 18 people in
Right.
here, and I want to create better even seat-to-seat bass whenever they're listening to our system. So better pressurization,
Right.
that thrilling experience, regardless of where you're sitting in the room. And having 1 sub is great.
Yep.
Having 2 subs is better.
Yeah.
And then when you can really go all the way up to 4 and have a product like the AVM 90,
Sure.
where you have the ability to have independent phase alignment, Anthem
Yeah.
room correction on each subwoofer, and distance, we have the ability to really dial it in so that we get great coverage throughout that entire area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So a couple scenes I just love to hit on. So
Sure.
we watched Furiosa.
We did.
I've never seen the movie.
Incredible movie.
I'm buying it on Kaleidoscape.
You should.
It's
Yeah. We downloaded it the day we got here because I wanted to check it out.
So there were a couple of parts in there that just really stood out.
Yeah.
When the truck hit, there was something it
The
ran
tower.
into. Okay.
Yeah, the tower.
When the tower fell,
Yep.
just really, really deep, just heart pounding. You know, I literally tactile.
Gut rumbling.
It's
yeah.
in a big room. This is not huge, but it's still
It's a
this
big
is
room.
bigger than my room,
Yeah,
for sure.
my room at home as well.
So being able to pressurize that room to feel that tactile bass, it's pretty phenomenal, especially in like a temporary room.
Yeah.
But that stood out. There
Yep.
was another part where the gun shells, he was sliding down and there was gun shells coming down.
All the
And
detail.
I'm hearing it all around, crisp and clear. I love having towers as surround.
Yep.
That's pretty amazing. Most people can't do that, but if you can, go for it. That is an incredible experience. Having just that seamless, because we're doing identical towers, right? All
We
the way
are.
around.
All the way around, yeah.
That's a seamless front sound stage all the way around, crystal clear. Love that.
And like you mentioned, most people can't do tower speakers in the surround or surround back position. I can at home. But that's the beautiful part about Paradigm, is we have an in-wall solution, we have on-wall solutions that have that same family tonal balance.
Right.
So that we can mix and match. Floor standing speakers up front, bookshelf speakers up front, do high performance in walls, in ceilings, on walls, and you get that same tonal characteristic you're looking for.
And I'm glad you mentioned that because the first thing we started off with this, with the in walls, then we moved to the bigger system. And the first thing I noticed, I'm like, man, I wouldn't have, if I closed my eyes and listened to the system, I wouldn't have realized it was an in-wall system.
100%.
And that's a tribute to what you've taken out of the technology out of this, moving into this, using those same drivers, because that was super great experience. And I'll be honest with you, most of the time when I've heard in-wall systems, kind of walk away going, yeah, that was all right. This was awesome.
It's something we excel at.
Yeah.
And a lot of that has to do with the fact that research and development all the way through the finished product happens in the exact same facility here. So these are built in Mississauga, Ontario, Canada.
Yeah.
Same thing for our P1 LCRs.
Okay.
So all of that R&D, all of the information that we learn about our box speaker technologies, our drivers,
Sure.
our PPA lens, we put that into the same in-wall, in-ceiling products in the Pros and the Elites that are made right there on that same factory floor. It's incredible.
Yeah. Now, Kyle, these are beautiful as far as like amazing performance, but they're also gorgeous looking.
They are.
Can we get these in different finishes as well?
You sure can. There are standard finishes, so piano black, a walnut finish. That's actually Dan's favorite, who's in the room with me right now.
Nice.
I have black walnut at home
Okay.
because it flanks my big 77-inch OLED.
Sure.
And then I have the XR13s to match in that system. Of course, you have the beautiful midnight cherry finish, which everybody loves. And we have the ability now, with the new Founder 41 Anniversary Edition finishes, to have the Azure Ice that we have on display here.
Right.
On the other side of the booth, we have the Ruby Frostbite, a flat red. We have the Frozen Charcoal finish available.
That's a
so
cool finish,
there's so
yeah.
many options, and it's only a small upcharge when you go to one of the 41st Anniversary Edition finishes.
Okay.
Above the cost of the Founder Series model or the XR Series, XR11 or XR13 sub,
Yeah.
so you can match.
So the XR series subs, tell us a little bit about those. Like, what size driver, amplifier, and do we have Anthem room correction built into those?
We do,
Okay.
and that's a great point. So just like what we always talk about with better performance, not only from a speakers and electronics standpoint when you're picking out your gear,
Sure.
also look for something that has Anthem room correction on board. Now, Anthem room correction in our receivers, our processors like the MRX 1140 that we're using for the P1 system and the AVM 90 on the big system in the room with the Founder 100Fs and the XR13s, that gives you Anthem room correction over top of the entire system.
Sure.
We start, though, by building a base layer using Anthem room correction built into the XR series subwoofer,
Right.
so we can correct critical low frequencies. Now, the beautiful part of that is if you aren't using an Anthem receiver, processor, stereo integrated, or preamplifier, or our new MRX Slim receiver, you have the ability to have Anthem room correction in your system
Right.
on critical low frequencies.
Yeah.
Now here, we did that independently on all 4 subwoofers before we ran over top of the system
Nice.
with
That's
the AVM
interesting.
90.
Yeah. So instead of just running Anthem room correction in your processor or your AVR, you first do it in each individual subwoofer.
That's correct.
Built into the subwoofer with your app, I'm assuming?
No, we use the computer.
Okay.
Yeah, our Genesis can operate on a Windows machine or a MacBook. I'm a MacBook user, so I
Yeah.
use the Mac version.
Yeah.
But each one individually.
Sure.
And then after running Anthem room correction on the subwoofers and getting them prepared for running it on the electronics with the AVM 90 over top.
Nice.
Yeah, pretty incredible. And you mentioned driver size.
Yeah.
That's a 13-inch woofer.
Okay.
There is a ton of excursion.
Oh,
You probably
yeah.
noticed
Oh,
that.
yeah.
That's the same CarbonX material that we use on the Founder 100F and up to 4,400 watts of peak power output.
Man.
So we're moving a lot of air with the trilinear suspension that we use on the driver design to create a ton of excursion outward. Also inward, we want to make sure that we're moving as much air as possible. And one really neat paradigm technology that you'll see across our speaker line and the custom installation line as well is we use active ridge technology. So we maintain that perfect pistonic-like behavior as we move all of that air to create that deep, powerful bass response in the room.
Yeah. I love it, man. These are they're pretty phenomenal, I'll be honest with you. And like I said, they look gorgeous. I can easily see a wife going, okay, I can maybe. I can go for that if it's not too big for them.
If you can't do a subwoofer like the XR series on the floor, that's where we have the SFC 12SW that we're highlighting this year. And over in the other corner, you'll notice that we have a black painted grille, so that way you can paint it to match your wall surface, so that way you can match the aesthetics with the performance that you're looking for, regardless of the room that you're installing these in.
Yeah.
So something that we're always aware of. I mean, definitely in my house, I'm always striking that balance, trying to make sure my system sounds incredible, and it also looks really incredible. And that's why my next take-home is going to be a pair of these Azorice finished speakers.
You've been talking about that for a while, but that just goes to show you, none of us, even in the industry, have our dream system right out the gate. Most people.
We build a lot of times.
We work over time. I've encouraged you guys to enjoy the process. Don't get so focused on the end result. Have a goal. This is Kyle's goal, but work towards that. Save up for it. You'll enjoy it and you'll appreciate it more versus just writing a check, somebody build it, they install it. Enjoy the process, man.
And then enjoy your movies.
Yeah.
And enjoy your music, enjoy your video games. The last clip we played, the Gran Turismo cut, is my favorite because I do play a lot of sim racing online, Gran Turismo, F124, and when I'm watching a movie, I want to be dropped right into the seat of the car. There's nothing like playing that same video game with a realistic experience and having an incredible sound system. I use headphones occasionally to talk to my friends while I'm playing, but my favorite is to get home from a long day of work, hop in the simulator, throw on Gran Turismo, and I plop myself right into that Nismo, and I can take that same hot lap.
So you're local to me, so guess what? Sometime I want to come by and check out your system.
Definitely.
That would be cool.
I love it. Let's do it. Want to go check out the rest of the booth?
I would love to. Let's head out there.
Sounds good. So Michael, welcome to the backside of our demo room booth, where we're actually showing off something that's really incredible this year. We saw the SFC 12SW, where we used it in the demo room. Now we're showing it off in a typical stud bay.
Sure.
So it's a really cool enclosure where you can see everything that's happening kind of behind the scenes. And we actually just watched someone install it back into the wall. So that was a really neat thing to watch in real time. And you can see that bezel-free grille design. It's white, but it's paintable. Okay. Show the paintable version that was in the room where they painted it black. So you always have that option, or if you have white walls like I do at home, perfect fit right out of the gate. But the other thing we're showing here is this is like your living room wall.
Sure.
You know, it's a beautiful wall that has accents that really highlights the aesthetic beauty of someone's home. And what's becoming more and more common now is we're getting asked for something that's much lower profile from an amplifier standpoint, especially for a receiver. So last year, if you remember, we launched the MRX Slim, the Slimline receiver. Now Blake, our product manager from Anthem, actually has the finished product in his hand that we've now been shipping and installing into customers' homes for roughly the past 3 to 4 months. Okay. And what's really cool about this product is we can put it virtually anywhere.
Sure.
You know, at my house, I was one of the initial testers, and I use this in all kinds of applications, everything from stereo to a full 5.1 system, and because it has amplifier matrixing, I even did it as a 3.1.2 Atmos height system in my gaming room that we talked about earlier. What's really neat about it is only 1 U high, so very low form factor, and it's less than 12 inches deep and wide. So you have the ability to really place it anywhere, which you're kind of starting to see exactly what we did this year here, where we wanted to show off high performance in a low footprint, where you could have something like a custom soundbar solution, an in-ceiling speaker solution, flat speakers to the side of the television, and then actually mount the MRX Slim inside of an in-wall media box with our included C-clamp bracket.
Love it.
So once that TV's mounted, we have it on an articulating mount to show off the MRX Slim. You could also put it behind the TV on the wall. You could put it behind a tilt mount, so you just tilt it up and down. And that's going to power up to a 5-channel system with a subwoofer pre-out for a 5.1. And myself at home, I use it with eARC. I use the TV as the main switching device, and I send eARC back down to the MRX Slim to get great sound quality. So what's really incredible about the product this year is we launched it last year at CEDIA. Now we're a finalist for the Paradigm MRX Slim Best New Hardware Product. And we're going to find out about that later today. So now that we've checked out the MRX Slim, let's go check out the new SFC12SW, but the system where we can put that in a new construction project with a back box that decouples from the wall to improve the performance in your home. So Michael, now that we've heard the SFC12SW inside of the demo room with the retrofit, I wanted to show you something really cool. I mentioned it earlier, there's 2 different options. There's retrofit when you already have drywall up and you want a higher performance bass response. And there's also a great option if you are building your theater from the ground up and you're in a new construction stage where the wall cavity is open, or if you are doing a remodel, you have the ability to take the drywall down and mount this back box. So this is the SFC12 system. And what we've done here is we've actually decoupled the back box from the wall cavity. Because we want all of that energy when we're using our subwoofers for heart-pounding bass to get to the listening area, but not travel through the wall cavity throughout the rest of the house.
That makes sense.
Yeah, and what we've done...
So it looks like you've got this suspension here?
Exactly, yeah. So we're decoupling it here. And we also have foam pads that are purposely placed to keep the energy from transmitting into the stud itself. So this is effectively just free-floating inside of the wall.
Is there maybe a cushion behind there too?
There's not a cushion because nothing is touching. That's the idea.
It's just floating
in the wall. So then we have our subwoofer that gets installed inside of that enclosure, and we have defined air volume. We have the ability to isolate it. We won. Won what?
Product of the year.
Product of the year for the MRX Slim?
Yeah, we got it.
Oh, everybody loves the MRX Slim, so I totally get that. Yeah, that's awesome. Thanks, Blake. But we are doing a video, so yeah, it's okay, man. It's okay. No problem. No problem. That's Blake, yeah. So I guess we just won the product of the year. Yeah, he was over there. But
serious? What
we were talking about earlier.
Dude, that's awesome.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it's pretty incredible, right?
Awesome, man.
So that'll be perfect to pair up with your system.
I was like, okay, I didn't know what to do. I'm like, this is odd.
I didn't know what was going on either, but yeah, we won the product of the year, so that's really cool.
Congrats, man.
Yeah, and hopefully this will be a product of the year award at some point in time because we really feel like we've kind of nailed everything with this. We've got the retrofit option, we have the system for new construction or a remodel, and we're getting that thrilling, heart-pounding bass response that we want when we're listening to our favorite content. So I'm excited about it. I know personally in my room, whenever I put in a system like this, I not only want to do one sub like we talked about earlier, I want to do 2. So that's why we have the options for power as well. With the X500 to power 1 sub for retrofit or for the system. Or if you are doing 2 subs, we recommend the SVX 1202, 600 watts per channel, and you get the benefit of Anthem room correction, so you can solve bass response in any room or environment. So I'm excited about it. Hopefully we win an award next year for this.
Awesome, man. That's super cool that we're able to include that in the video.
Very cool.
That's exciting. You guys are innovating, leading the space. I love what you're doing. And I appreciate this opportunity to come and share with my audience all the stuff that Paradigm and Anthem are offering this year, as well as even your other products that we've covered in the past.
And hearing how much everybody loves our products always makes us feel great, so I appreciate it. Thank you so much for joining us this year.
Man.
Looking forward to next year.
Absolutely. Well, guys, we got more content coming from CEDIA 2024. Hope you guys have an incredible week. God bless. We will catch you in the next video.